What's up, y'all? This is the Golden Child, Johnny Stone, reporting live from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Tapped in with the industry's most wanted podcast. My homegirl, TampaMystic. Nothing but good energy, good vibes. You know.
One for the bud, two for the drug. Gang in this bitch, drop shift through the mud. One for the bud, two for the drug. Gang in this bitch, drop shift through the bud. One for the bud, two for the drug.
Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live. Where are we at?
Industries.
The big one, not the little one. I heard we got Kansas City in the building.
We got Kansas City barbecue in the building, man.
Man, first and foremost, I appreciate you being here. Give me some love.
My dog, I appreciate
got you. Got the gloves on today.
Oh, yeah.
Came in here looking super fly. Mr. Johnny Stone, TGC Johnny Stone to be exact.
Come on, man.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's the Golden Child, Johnny Stone. Reporting live from Atlanta, Georgia, but from Kansas City, Missouri. I was actually born in Atlanta. You know, so to me, this is me just coming home.
Got you.
Yeah, for sure. Tapped in with some real good people.
Got you. Understood. At what age did you go to Kansas City?
Oh, man, like 2. You know how it is when parents, they separate. Yeah, so that's what the whole story was living here. And to be honest, I got like a lot of siblings out here. I got my older sister Diamond. I got my older brother Brian. I got my older brother Deuce. I got my little brother Ahmad. And, you know, I got my father out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. But you definitely represent KC.
Oh, for sure, though.
How did growing up in KC in Kansas City shape your music, your mindset, and your approach to doing music? I
mean, you know, Kansas City has always been, you know, I feel like, you know, we're known for, like, you know, being like, you know, the Bay, like, you know, like we're just like a baby Bay. We really like, you know, underground music. We like a lot of Messy Marv. You know, we like a lot of Mac Dre. You know, if you Google Mac Dre's name, it will say Kansas City artist. You know, that we embrace like that get out the trunk, you know, mentality. We're a lot of gritters and hustlers, and we adore that masterpiece so much that I feel like sometimes we still in 2005.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just something that's about that year that's so authentic. It can resonate so much with us that it's like, hey, you know, we got to get out the trunk. We got to get out the mud. We got to get it like this because we're a smaller demographic compared to like Atlanta and our big brother Chicago and everything like that. So we got to get it. Kansas City get it. Kansas City get the money. I can tell you that. Kansas City do get the money. Very underrated, very underappreciated, you know, but everyone comes by and get the sauce from us. Everybody.
Literally.
Everyone comes, literally, like in 2 ways. We have you know, that Kendrick record with SZA, 30 for 30. We have Jay White. He produced that. He's from Kansas City.
Okay.
You know, we have you know, there's a Drake record. I can't think. I think it's the Conductor, Kansas City.
Got you.
You know, so we you know we got you know, we got like Joe Black. You know, with like Ariana Grande, and you know he's a top producer here in Kansas City. He's been behind the sound of a lot of people. So, you know, the fact that, you know, we have all these gems and you probably don't hear about them, but, you know, you come to the city, you talk to some people, they're going to tell you, right, like, oh, it comes from Kansas City.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that you're putting spotlight and shedding light on them because, you know, oftentimes, especially with producers, they don't get the spotlight that I feel like they deserve because they're always in the studio working, they're behind the scenes. So shout out to you for, you know, being humble and shining some light on them. Oh,
for sure. You know, always showing love. I don't hate on people. You know what I'm saying? They hate people. People may try to hate on me, but it don't work because they end up loving me. You know what I'm saying?
You have great energy. I don't know how anybody could not like you.
I mean, you know, we ain't gonna talk too much about that.
It's because they don't like themselves. I truly believe when someone, like, if you're a good person, you got a good heart, you're out here doing good, and someone doesn't like you, it's because really, truly, they're unhappy with themselves.
Absolutely,
and
I agree.
They're projecting it onto you.
I agree.
Because they want the type of happiness that you have. You know. Y'all need to seek help.
Come on now. Therapy.
Therapy. Absolutely. So you've been locked in the music scene since 2018.
Yeah.
What's the biggest shift in your sound since when you first started till now, or like the biggest, strategy change from when you first started till now?
Strategy change. Before it was kind of like just throwing up against a wall, seeing what stick. I didn't really have vision. So just how it came to my dress, right? I got this fly jacket on and everything like that.
You look fly today.
Put
that ish on, man. You look fly.
Come on, man. I appreciate it.
You look like you need to be like modeling or something right now. Slick. I ain't gonna lie.
I do model, actually. I was part of a couple of modeling shows and things like that.
I can see it.
Yeah. So, but I would say the biggest strategy is like I want to look like the music. Wherever the music I put out, I want to look like, kind of like what 3000 said, when he started dressing, how he started dressing, when Outkast started to progress, he was like, man, I want to look like the music. I want to feel. So that's why when he did that, what's that song? I hope that you're the one. You're just the prototype.
The prototype.
You remember that video?
Yes, that's one of my favorite songs ever because I feel like I'm the prototype.
Yeah. You feel me? So remember how he was dressed? He had the white wig on, and he was it was just like he was walking like this, and he was looking like how he created the music, and that's what I wanted to do. So I dropped something called Drive Shift. I want to look like I'm driving a motorcycle or something, I was like, man, I'm going to get me a jacket. I released a single called Camp Crystal Lake. I had the whole Jason Voorhees mask on. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. I want to look like the music. I want to be the music. I want you to feel the music. And it's just like, okay, yeah, this is just another branch of my personality. You know what I'm saying?
That is such a great analogy. Like, why would you not want to look like what your music sounds like?
Exactly.
Like it's a true definition of almost getting into character, but not in a corny kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you're putting that ish on, like we said.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's talk about, over these years from 2018 till now, out of all the songs that you've released, you got this new single, which we're going to get into. Which one is the most personal record to you and why?
Personal? As far as like a very emotional record.
Like a vulnerable type record. Maybe you were going through something.
I have those records still in the vault.
Okay.
So this is my thing. I want people to really feel me, right? So right now I'm giving them a bit more upbeat music, music that, you can play in the club or play in the car and things like that. And I want to build like, okay, well, I got your attention. Well, here it is. This is some of them vulnerable records. So instead of just coming out from the gate like that, people, they got the bounce, they got all that, but then I'm giving them that. They're like, oh, he's very versatile. He's he's giving us something else now. You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm giving them Drive Shift. Right, I was giving them some of that, some of that, oh yeah, this beat. Oh yeah, he's saying that flow. Yeah, he do it. But giving them those vulnerable records, you know what I'm saying? That's when they're gonna be like, yeah, that's when I'm going to cultivate more and more fans. Like it's going to grow, but it's just a slow ball. I'm slowly getting to that point.
Absolutely. I think that's a great strategy because that hype upbeat music was going to initially draw them in.
Yeah.
Once they become your core fan base, they want to know a little bit more about you. They want to get a little deeper. That's when you can start releasing them pain records.
Exactly.
They'll resonate with it a little bit more because they'll feel like they kind of know you because they become a fan of yours.
Right.
Definitely. So you've been putting some work into building this catalog, it sounds like, because you said you still got some stuff in the vault.
Yeah.
How many unreleased records do you have if you had to take a guess?
80.
Okay, so you know the number.
Yeah. Because I did go through a burnout stage, because, when you're a multi-talented individual, meaning like you can rap, you can sing, you can do cover art, you can dance, you can do marketing, you can paint, you can just do everything. You can benefit small businesses, you can write articles, you can be a great business consultant, and you're guiding people and you're holding people's hands, and when you're doing all that, it's cool, but it stretches yourself a little too thin.
Yeah.
And then when you run into like inconveniences, like people not appreciating what you do, people talking crap behind your back, people they're taking your ideas, or they're taking what you giving them, probably took your logo off of it, probably don't give you the credit.
Had that happen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what the F? Like, you know what I'm saying? Can I cuss on here?
Yes, I'm just laughing because
okay.
I had someone steal one of my mixtape covers one time. They didn't take my logo off. They just changed the name and put their name and their face on there. I forgot about that. That's hilarious. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, so when people do that, it like pisses you off.
Yes.
It pisses you off. And then sometimes you get so pissed that you get burnt out.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to deal with that shit no more. So that's what I was dealing with from 2022 up to 2024. No, 2020. Yeah, 2022 to like 2024, like late 2024. Because because beginning of 2025, that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna release this record. So technically 3 years, but since I released the record, I was going through all this burnout because I was spreading myself too thin. I was trying to help too many people. I kind of put my stuff in the background. Well, you know, I was getting money now.
Yeah.
You know, they was putting money in my pocket. That was cool. All the tips and tricks that I would do for myself, I would share with them, and they'll apply it somewhat. But you know, I realized that everything that works for you don't work for them.
Facts.
You know, and you know, I just sat down and I was like, man, what am I doing, man? What am I trying to do? You know what, man? Let me just focus on building my credit, man. Let me focus on getting my money.
That's
right,
a grown man-ish right there.
Yeah. Let me go back to the gym. Like, let me, you know, just be a better man to my girl, be a better son to my mom, my dad. Let me be a better father to my kid. You know, let me just take a step back from the music thing, kind of just observe, watch, see what's going on. And what I've noticed is a lot of people, like last year or 2 years ago, they were all inclined. Everyone going up, everyone jocking them. Oh, he's the next one. That's the next one. And here you are. You kind of just not stagnant, but you're kind of just watching. And it's like, yeah, I can't wait to pop back out. I can't wait to pop back out. I can't wait. And then you're seeing these people. You haven't wished no harm on them or anything like that. Then you see these people that was popping. Then you start to see the decline of them. You start to see them not having as much motivation. You start to see them get discouraged, and I'm just like, damn, homie, you was the man, homie. Man. You know what I'm saying? What happened? So, you know, just observing, I'm just like, wow, like maybe, and then I'm really personal. I kind of like pull people to the side, not on some, you know, but if I see you in person, you know, I'm really in person, you know. I'm good on social media, but in person it's different.
Because you can feel energy.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I'm like, hey, homie, like, what's going on? He's like, man, I just don't feel motivated no more. This shit just not fun. I said, it's not fun, but you got all these people that, and then that's why it's like, whatever you think is success, whatever you think is, you know, happiness, it may not be someone else's happiness. You dig what I'm saying? So that over there was just like, bro, just stick to what you know and what you want to do. You know, everybody else kind of just what it is. You know what I mean? But you can't bring somebody back to do. Just because I'm a fan of your music or whatever you're doing, if you're not feeling it, I can't force you to feel it.
That's facts. Absolutely. So during that time when you had kind of like a hiatus, we'll say, did you have like a moment where you're like, you know what, I am absolutely not going to do this no more? Did you have that moment where you, no?
Because I was still
never got to that point.
I was still recording music.
Got you.
I was going through stuff. And I was recording music, and you know, I always knew I was going to bounce back. I always knew, but I needed to get my credit right. I needed to get my money right. You know, I was losing. I lost my car, lost my house, damn near lost my girl, damn near lost my son, damn near fell victim to the system, damn near fell victim to just a whole bunch of stuff I had no business to succumb to. Stuff that didn't even influence me in the past, that are just now affecting me. I'm like, where? This is strange. Why is this all of a sudden, hey, I'm falling out with this friend, I'm falling out with that friend. She's not my friend no more. He's not my friend no more. Damn, this hurts. Damn, how do I deal with this? Okay, what is meditation? I'm gonna put this weed down for a little bit. What is it like going through shit sober? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What is it like, okay, you know, I'm about to pick up a whole different level of spirituality. Like, what's it like praying to the trees? And I mean, I'm going by the riverside. I'm just like talking.
Because it's all energy out there.
Yeah. So, you know, I was just going through all this stuff, and I was just like, yo, I'm put this all in the music. So I made a lot of vulnerable records. I just haven't put them out yet. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm glad that you took that time, because, you know, even though I'm a woman, one thing I know about a man, if your home life, your finances, this and this is not in line, it can weigh a lot on you.
Oh, swear to God.
It can weigh a lot on you, not just your pride, but just, you know, it's just heavy.
Right.
So I feel like, and women too, sometimes you got to step back a little bit.
Yeah.
Get these things in order, because thinking about that stuff can, like, it can fester, you know, it can build up, and to the point where you go through anxiety and depression. You don't ever want to get to that point. You have to address it head on, and that's what you did. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it takes maturing.
Yes.
And it takes vision. I feel like a vision is very like slept on.
Yes.
You know, because vision really just encompasses everything.
That's facts.
You know, so when you have a vision, you know where you're going.
No, right.
You know, it's like, even if you don't know where you're going somewhere. And then if you're in tune, you can kind of tell if you're going in the right direction or not. You know, so I always knew that this music is what I wanted to do. And, you know, I know people, they're like, you need like 150,000 to blow up. And I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's other little things that factor in with that.
Yes.
And then, I really watch your show. You know, I really watch you. So when you were talking to somebody, you was like, hey, man, there's things that networking could get you through the doors. Money can't even get you, because I'll take it to a Snoop Dogg example. They was talking to Snoop Dogg, right? They was like, yeah, like he really just does it for the love. But if it was like that, he was like, yeah, it's gonna cost you about 250,000 to do the verse, and then when it comes to the video, another 250,000. You got about an hour. If it was like that, if it was just about money, and it was like, yeah, and it's like 250,000 twice for a verse in a video, and what if the song don't even pop?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But if he rock with you, if he liked your energy, he was like, nephew. You know what I'm saying? He come through, you got a verse from Snoop, you're hanging out with Snoop, and, you know, you're doing a video with Snoop, and, you know, if it pops or not, I mean, dude, you got a song with Snoop, and it didn't even cost a lot. It didn't even cost nothing for real, because he blessed you, you know?
That's the perfect analogy, and I'm going to tell you why.
What's up?
And why I always say relationships will put you in places money cannot. A few years back, I was working with Doggy Style South Records.
Okay.
And I got an artist from this area named Triggs. Y'all look it up. I got him signed to Doggy Style South. And he worked with Snoop for a while. He still has a relationship with them. He's not signed to the label anymore, but he still has a relationship with them. That was just by walking him in there. Because I remember one of the A&Rs from the label hit me up. They're like, you know, hey, Tampa, who's really hot right now? And I said, well, I got an artist that he said he's not got a major buzz, but he's got great music. Yeah. I sent him a couple records. They said, put us on the phone with him.
Just on the phone with him. Come on.
Now he's got records with Exhibit, Snoop, multiple. Relationships will put you in places the money cannot.
Remember that, kids.
That's facts. You do need money to fund your career, but if you build them relationships, you might get into a position where you couldn't have bought your way into.
Right. And okay, now this touches on another point. I feel like what's more important is working on your personality.
Oh, that's huge.
Like huge. It is a huge thing, right? Like you got to really work on that, because the having anxiety, especially when these cameras is on, you trying to do this, you got to build a relationship, and you got to like sit in front of that camera. You got to deal with the uncomfortability, and I mean. It's normal, you know. Scientifically, you put like a cell underneath the microscope, and it'll start squirming.
Yeah,
it looks like nervous and
it's
things
under
like
stress.
that. Yeah, so our bodies is made of millions of those. So that initial feeling when you're in front of that camera, you feel awkward.
Yep.
It's not that something's wrong with you. That's just your body reacting to that.
Start sweating a little bit.
Yeah. That's just your body reacting, but it's just completely natural. So you just go through it. After a while, it's just still.
You are absolutely right, because it's funny. There's been times where I'll sit on that side of the table because I want to make a video here, and I feel so awkward because I'm never in front of this camera. So trust me.
So remember that next time you feel awkward and you feel maybe, you know, it's okay, because I asked you before this, I was like, hey, is my jacket, because, you know, of course we want to look good for the camera and things like that, so you're not bulgy or anything like that, but ultimately your presentation and your energy, that's going to reflect on the camera, and people have different perspectives anyway. So if they don't like you or they don't like your outfit, then there's nothing, no type of poser sitting up or type of change your voice or fix your hair, don't matter, because they don't like your outfit or they don't like your voice, or it doesn't really matter what people like. You dig what I'm saying? It's all about like, okay, this is me, this is my presentation, here, take it or not, you know what I'm saying? Some people like McDonald's, some people like Chick-fil-A, some people like Burger King. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? Where you want to get your burger from?
Absolutely. And you know, something I stand on is like, I don't want to deal with no a-hole. No. I don't care. There's been people who's tried to book with me, and I'll turn them down just because I can see the type of energy they project. Like they have this cocky, arrogant, weird. I don't want to sit down and talk to someone like that. Thank you, but no thank you. Sorry, not sorry.
I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, because not all money's good money.
I swear to God.
Period.
I swear to God.
So let's talk. You had the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with Tech Nine.
Yep.
Major. People really look up to him and how he's, moved through the industry.
Yep.
What was a gem that he dropped on you that really stuck with you?
Tech. Okay, so first off, I've been listening to Tech since I was like 14, 13 years old, Kansas City, right? So he dropped like classic albums like Angelic and things like that. So it's so ironic because I was listening to a Tech Nine interview like at work and things like that, and then I went to Soul Sessions. So where Soul Sessions is located, it's down on 18th and Vine, right? That's a historic district down in Kansas City. As a matter of fact, it's the home of Charlie Parker, right? Charlie Parker, that's a legendary jazz musician. You feel me? So you got your jazz hubs, you got Chicago, you got New Orleans, you got Kansas City. So back in those days, people who would come down to 18th and Vines, it was a thing that you wasn't really considered a real jazz musician unless you performed at like the Blues Room or the Juke House.
Got you.
Down on 18th and Vine. If you go down to 18th and Vine right now, you got a Star Walk of Fame down there. So it's real historic, and it's real. Jazz is real deeply rooted in the culture. So I met Tech Nine. Like around the first time I met him down on 18th and Vine at Juke House, right? And I didn't even know he was going to be there, So I'm ready to perform and things like that. So I performed, right? And Tech Nine was there,
man,
and he saw me perform.
That's hard.
Yeah, right.
That was like the perfect moment in time.
Yeah, right. So I went. Me just being me, I went up to him. I said, "Yo, Tech, what you think about it?" He was like, "Yeah, that was hard. I like that." And so he went to the bathroom and things like that, and I was kind of just chilling by the windowsill, kind of just doing my own thing.
Yeah.
And he came up to me. Tech came up to me, and we had like a 15-20-minute conversation.
Nice.
And what he was telling me, when he goes around the world, that he knows that they know Kansas City. When he goes around the world, because Tech is really putting on for Kansas City around the world. He like KC Mo, whoa, like Tech Nine is like so. But pretty much Tech, he was just telling me like keep going. I like what you're doing. He likes what I'm doing. He's a really down to earth person. It's
Love
like
it.
that's just one person that you just want to talk to. Follow me on Instagram and things like that. Just on the humbug. You dig what I'm saying? Got his contact information and everything like that. Tech Nine is like one of the most genuine people that you ever gonna want to meet. You know what I'm saying? And I met him a couple other times other that, it was busy and things like that, but he'll remember your face.
Sure. Love it.
He'll respond to your DMs. He'll comment on your stuff. He'll like your stuff. If he really feels like you're dope, he's gonna find you.
Man.
Yeah. So, I haven't had the chance to work with him yet, but I'm manifesting that. Tech Nine, I'm coming for you, man. Get on that record with you, man.
Come on, Tech Nine.
Come on, Tech Nine.
And it's ironic because his name gets brought up fairly often when I'll ask artists when I interview them, who are maybe some people that inspired them. Tech Nine's name, just a couple nights ago, I was interviewing somebody, a virtual interview, and he mentioned Tech Nine,
Tech Nine, man.
Yeah, so it's like people like that, and he's so humble.
I swear to God.
You can't help but love someone like that.
You gotta love Tech Nine.
Gotta love Tech Nine.
You gotta love Tech Nine. Shout out to Tech Nine.
Shout out to Tech Nine.
No, for real.
So throughout your journey, you've had the opportunity to open up for some big names, which include YFN Lucci. I know you've seen the plaques out there.
I saw it. I was like, yeah.
You got one right there.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah.
Whiz Khalifa,
For sure.
Scrappy, Currency, the list goes on.
Yep.
Being on stages, being able to open up for these legends, what did it teach you about what it takes to actually shine in front of a big crowd like that?
Man, you got to read the room, and I feel like, what I would have done different, it's like I would have done like, more the research of what the venue is and how the crowds are in the past and things like that. I mean, I still put on a performance,
sure.
and people really they received it well, but, I feel like the songs at that time weren't like, who I was opening up for. It was kind of like my own lane. And I feel like that's with me, while I'm making my music, I don't feel like I sound like I'm from anywhere. I just feel like it's just me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, who does he sound like? I don't know. Like, I don't, like, who you think you sound like? I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know who I think I sound like. I think I just sound like
you.
I think I sound like me. I really feel like my music's original. I don't really try to copy nobody's swag or try to copy anyone's cadence, but, but back to the question, because I was like,
I know you good.
It all ties in, but I feel like what it taught me was this around those times. It was earlier. I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
I wish that I had more conversations. Like, I saw Whiz, I said, hey, what's up to him and things like that. It was short. You know what I'm saying? But I wish, if I had the energy I had now, you dig what I'm saying? Then I'll be able to, Currency. I didn't even get a chance to see Currency. It was just, and that's my favorite rapper right there. That crushed me, man. I got off the stage and I'm like, where's Currency? He was like, he had to go and things like that. I'm like, things like that. Wife and Lucci, I saw him at a college campus. I opened for him in a college campus down here in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? He looked like Lil Scrappy to me. Like, he could just, like, back, and this is before he went to jail and things like that. Because I saw Lil Scrappy down at the Boulevard Nights down in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw Lil Scrappy. I'm like, dude, you got the whitest teeth ever, dog. It was dark as hell. And Lil Scrappy smiled. And I was like, yo, his teeth are so damn, are those real? Like, this is before I knew what veneers was or anything. I'm like, why is his teeth so damn white? You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Glow in the dark, right?
Yeah, I swear to God. It's like, and then Wife and Lucci, I saw him. I'm like, okay, he look like a darker Lil Scrappy.
They do have a resemblance to each other.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is crazy. You look like Lil Scrappy. But when you're dealing with these people, they're it's business.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they won't build a relationship with you, but under circumstances, they probably talking to a manager or something just popped up and they got to leave or they got to hurry up and get on stage or, something's going on. But I always taught to have patience and, you know what I'm saying, opportunity. If our roads cross again, it's going to be beautiful.
Absolutely. And like you said, oftentimes they're only booked to be there for a certain amount of time. Yeah. So understandably so, they're not trying to give them an extra 30 minutes, an extra hour. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm booked here for 2 hours. Boom, 2 hour mark. I'm out of here.
For sure.
But Lucci, Scrappy, both very humble spirits. Very
cool people.
Humble spirits, very cool people. Absolutely. That's amazing, though, that you were able to lock in those opportunities.
Yeah.
Out of all the artists that you did open up for, which one do you feel like their crowd you resonated with the most?
Wiz Khalifa's.
Wiz Khalifa, okay.
Yeah.
Because they smokers?
yeah. They were smokers, but I feel like Wiz has the type of fan base that like they're very cool, very open, and going back to what Currency said in his interviews, because Currency, he was with No Limit and he was with Cash Money.
Yeah.
And, he was rapping with these folks and, they more like, I'm take the knife off the AK and gut these niggas and things like that. So Currency's more chill, laid back. He was like, I don't want to go through a crowd and worry about someone snatching my chain.
Right.
I'd rather have some people throw up gummy bears and fruit snacks and joints up on the stage and just like show love and shake hands and things like that. So that's another reason why I say, like, know the crowd.
Yes.
You dig what I'm saying? And that goes back to your personality, knowing who you are and who you get in front of, because not everything is matched for everybody.
Facts.
It may be cool to, sure, like this promoter has this opportunity for you to open up for so and so and so and so, but if you don't really make the music that's aligned with so and so and so and so, then you're kind of just sticking out like a sore thumb.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, but if you're going with somebody who is more, I would say like for me, my music, I would say, don't sound like them, but kind of just chill, like Whiz Khalifa, Larry June, Currency, Dom Kennedy, Primo Rice, things like that. Yeah, that lane, that's more my lane right there. You know what I'm saying? And then it can go beyond that because all those artists has worked with major stream artists, OT Genesis and Ty Dolla $ign and whoever. You dig what I'm saying? But I just feel like it's all about personality.
Agreed, 100%. Because really, at the end of the day, like, I've talked to a lot of artists who've opened for others. They're like, I was talking to Nick Lavelle recently, and he opened up for Jacquees, and he's like, essentially, they're there to see him.
Yeah.
So what is it I got to do to resonate with his fan base? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So makes sense to pick and choose people to open up for that you feel like their fan base is going to resonate with your music.
Exactly.
100%. Mm-hmm. So 2023, you launched Jetream PR.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. What pushed you to build this platform? And tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so again, being Kansas City, we're not really the biggest hub or anything like that. We kind of look at it like you go out of town in Kansas City, you making moves. But for some reason, when you're in Kansas City making moves, unless you're like throwing a party or something like that, we've seen this before.
They're kind of downplaying it.
Yeah, we seen this before. Oh, I'm on the radio in Kansas City. Okay, we see you working. I'm in the radio in Atlanta. Oh man, we see you working, man. We see you working. I don't know what it is about it. That's what it is, right? So again, I'm really great at literature. I started off doing poetry and all that stuff, right? So I wanted to do Jetream PR because I don't believe, well, I do, but there's a lot of gatekeepers.
A whole lot.
There's people who don't want to see you go to the next level without them, right? So, you know, I know that I need a publication. I know I need to get on the radio. I know that I need to get myself in positions, and a lot of times people won't work with you unless you got like a manager or if you got some type of representation. So what I was doing, I was like, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to create something for myself. I'm about to be my own PR, but no one's going to know it. So I created Jetream PR and, you know, started just posting every day and started building it. And I started reaching out to blogs. Hey, I got this artist, TGC Johnny Stone, and you should check him out. They be like, TGC Johnny Stone, who is that? Yeah, he's an artist from Kansas City. They don't know that's me. You see what I'm saying? But I'm
so slick.
Yeah, but yeah, this is my art. You know, this is the artist I'm working with. Okay, send them some of my, and then they'll go DM TG's Johnny Stone, but they don't know that they've been talking to me the whole time. It was like, yeah, man, your company, so your representative, Jetream PR, reached out to us, and they said that you were nice, and we checked you out. We really like you. We want to put you on This Is 50. We want to put you on 24 Hip Hop. We want to put you on, you know, all this other. So I started getting myself on blogs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Then eventually I got myself into actually writing articles. I was offered a position. They was like, hey, man, you want Jetream PR, you want to write articles? Yeah. And so I reached out to you.
Yep.
And I got you an article. I wrote your article back in the day.
Yep.
I wrote a whole bunch of people's articles. You know, it's just some people I was charging, some people I wasn't charging, you know, kind of just building my portfolio and things like that. And so people was coming to me. They was like, hey, man, you do PR? You do marketing too? Yeah, I do marketing. Okay. Then I was with this company that does like the marketing. And I was like, hey, man, you know, just tap in and things like that. So, you know, I'm getting people on Instagram. I'm getting people streams on Spotify, Apple Music and things like that. I'm like doing the whole thing essentially. And then that's when the burnout started coming because I'm so focused on getting this motherfucker printed up,
right,
posted, and hey, booking studio time. Hey, let's go to this radio station. All the things that I was saving for myself, I would just give it to other people. Yeah, I was gonna do this, but here you go. I was gonna do that. But here you go.
Right.
You're paying me, so let me give you the sauce.
Delegate.
Let me give you sauce, things like that. And then it was like, oh no, man. Like, and I'll be like, hey, how come you haven't started? How come you haven't done it? Oh no, man. I was like, man, you lazy. And then, like, you know, I have access to their stuff because they will trust me what they like, their passwords and things like that. So I'm having access. He DMing all these bitches and things like that. I'm like, bro, you focus on the wrong shit. You're supposed to be focused on this music stuff, man. You're supposed to be posting this content. I'm getting angry with him. I'm slowly losing my patience with this dude. Hey, man, like, you know, I'm telling you the sauce. I'm telling you what you need to do. You need to do this. Hey, man, you know, so, man. And then when it comes, and then it always when it comes down to the payment. Always when it comes down to that payment. I'm giving you this sauce and you telling me you ain't got the money? What are you talking about? You ain't got the money. Hey, man, you know, but we got a contract. Yeah, man, I know, but I was seeing if we can go against the contract, man. And, you know, so I was dealing with a lot of that stuff, and I really was pissing me off.
It wears on you.
Oh, man, it was making me mad. I was so pissed. Like, I'm just like, I couldn't even focus straight. I couldn't make love. I couldn't take care. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do anything. I was so focused on this bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what?
May back off.
Yeah, because I had to do that because, you know, I started, man, this music industry ain't shit, man. You know, it's all the same stuff. Like, I know the back end. I know what these people are doing because I've done it. I'm doing it. And these people, they saying that this is this. Well, I've seen it. I've been in the rooms and I know how y'all working. then I started getting angry at a lot of stuff that I really shouldn't be getting angry at. I started taking things more personal than I should be getting taken personal. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, then just became just a whole ball of chaos in my world. Yeah, that was like 2023, and then that's when I started losing stuff. At the top of me being angry, started losing a car.
Yeah.
Lost my job. I lost my house. I'm losing stuff. I'm losing focus. I'm losing like the love, and I'm just angry.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, I then had to go through the whole year 2024, man. Just you need to learn to chill the fuck out, bro.
Yeah.
Because you're taking these things too personal.
Right. And
it's not getting you nowhere. You need to just relax. You need to go back to square one. You need to go back to your foundation.
Yes.
That's what you need. So I was like, yeah, 2025, it's my year, bro. I'm back outside.
I'm proud of
traveling.
you. Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Get my credit right. Boom, 700. Get my car right. Boom, new car. Boom, new house. Boom, better body. Boom, better shape. Boom, better attitude. Boom, better energy. Boom, more character with my personality. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? So conserving my energy. I'm outside, man.
It's amazing how you can bounce back when you redirect your focus.
Yeah, facts.
Because someone said to me a long time ago, life is like a camera. What you focus on is what develops.
Facts.
And that has always stuck with me.
Say that again. That was hard.
What you focus on is what develops. Life's like a camera.
Boom. Kodak. That's Kodak film.
Exactly, because I come from the era where I had to go drop it off at Walmart and get it in Eckerd drugs. Y'all don't know about Eckerd drugs and stuff like that. I came from that era, but I was like, man, that was the biggest facts ever, because I feel like whatever we focus on, it develops. So if you focus on the negative, you're going to be surrounded with negativity.
That's right.
So you have to be mindful of where you put your energy at and where you put your focus at.
That's right.
So have you launched the business, or did it ever, did you completely walk away from it, from the PR company?
Nah, definitely didn't walk away from it. I'm more focused on me.
I got you.
So, I'm getting back into the blogs and things like that, but I'm just going to do it for me right now.
Understood.
Just for right now. I'm going to open my doors back up to clientele and things like that, but I want to just focus on me, because I'm coming back, and this is about TGC Johnny Stone now. It's not about helping everybody. It's about just helping myself.
Yes.
Because when you're trying to help, let me build something, let me get to a point, then that's when I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna let everyone else kind of like, yo, you can do that, because that's what they do full time.
Yeah,
that's what they do full time. You're doing PR full time. She's doing radio full time. I'm not trying to dibble and dabble, because I'm trying to do this music stuff too, man. So let me focus on this music. And if I'm doing, hey, TGC Johnny Stone, Jetream PR, the things like that, with Johnny Stone for Johnny Stone, reaching out for Johnny Stone. This represent for Johnny Stone. Then I'll hire somebody to do that stuff for me, and then that's when I'll have the manager and all that stuff at Jetream PR to do that. But until then, I'm just focused on me.
Absolutely. And you know what? There's a lot of people who do that. That will represent themselves, but people don't know it's them.
Yeah.
Because somebody I know reached out to an artist for a feature, and they're like, well, you got to call my manager. So they give him a different phone number. When they called the manager, you could tell it was the same person. So, we entertained it or whatever. And it's like, but there are people who do that. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, right.
Well, everything that you've been through, right now in 2025, what does success to Johnny Stone look like? If you had to define success for yourself, what does it look like?
Success, what it feels like.
What does it look like for you? Like, if you could define it, is it plaques on the wall, or is it feeding your family?
Well, I want to say it's like a clear mind. That's what it feels like.
Got you.
What it looks like is plaques on the wall. What it feels like is shaking hands with some important people.
Yeah.
With some good important people, though. What it feels like is a fresh breath of air. What it looks like is being in these rooms, important rooms with good people. You notice what I'm saying, good people, not just the top of the top and the top charting and the most popular and the most popping. No, good people, good energy. That's what it looks like. What it feels like is good energy radiating and creativity just at the forefront and the ability to adapt. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's deep right there.
Yeah.
That's deep. You know, most people say what it looks like, but they don't give us the definition what it feels like.
Well, this what it sounds like.
It's like woosah. You just have to. Sometimes you have to let it out.
That's what's.
We got to give ourselves grace, and we got to let it out. That's why it's important to take time for yourself.
This world's so crazy, man.
It is.
It goes so fast. It's like the Atlanta airport. It's so fast.
We had that conversation. Can't stand the Atlanta airport.
It's so cluttered. Like, you know, because you see, we're in hustle culture. We got to hustle. We 24 hours. We got to grind. That shit don't work for nobody but a rapper. To be honest with you, if you do anything besides rap, you shouldn't be up 24 hours a day.
And I'm not. I have a bedtime.
You gotta get some rest. You know, even because, like, dude, some of these rappers, man, the reason why they're up that goddamn long is because they on fucking drugs. And you know what those drugs do? They alter your personality.
Man. They'll end up shutting your whole body down.
And then you become cranky and asshole, and you know what I'm saying, you can't get no good quality sleep, and you know. Our
body is like a battery. We have to recharge it, or it'll die.
Exactly.
Like, it's crazy to me because I ended up getting 2 phones. I had to separate the business from the personal because some of these artists, they would call me at 2, 3, 4 in the morning because they're in the studio working. I'm like, bro, I'm asleep.
What's going on?
They're like, oh, I thought you'd be up. For what?
No courtesy.
None.
No courtesy.
None. Zero. Zilch. And I'm just like, bro, just because you up smoking and doing whatever you're doing, I'm in bed asleep. Like, I ain't got time for that. You know? Sure. Definitely. Any projects that we can anticipate?
You know what? Yes, actually, I'm actually working on an EP right now, but slowly I'm giving them all the material from the EP. You dig what I'm saying? I'm kind of doing like what Russ did. I want to release singles right now, you know, and then when I drop the EP, well, you already heard the EP because it dropped them in singles, but you got like an additional song right there.
Love it.
So, you know, people have their favorite song that I released already, a part of the project, and then that's just consistency. Like, hey, you got a project and it's got the songs on there, then you could double the streams on there because, yes, these songs have been released before, and that can all account to what you're doing now, you know. So just little tips and tricks that I've learned. I'm a huge learner. I love to learn. You know, I feel like that's the foundation of youth right there.
Yes.
The fountain of youth. That's the foundation. The fountain of youth is to stimulate your brain, to stimulate your mind. That's how you stay young. That's how you
getting in the gym. Yeah. That stimulates you.
Yeah. Exactly.
You are absolutely right. Mm-hmm. We have to find.
We vibing.
Nah, big facts. We have to find stuff to stimulate your mind because when you sit around and you live that sedentary lifestyle, that's why people die young.
I swear to God. Oh,
you know,
speak
like
truths.
That's facts. You gotta shoot. Just even go for a walk. Do something. Get out there and move around.
You gotta do something. You know, go to personality class. Take some personality online. Cause I'm real big on that.
Me too.
You know what I consider myself? I'm a hope dealer. I'm a hope giver. That's why I'm not a dope dealer. I'm a hope giver.
I love that.
You dig what I'm saying? Because there's no hope. You know, like I talk to a lot of the homies sometimes, and the homies don't feel like they can, you know, do it past whatever they doing, or, you know, they let the frustrations kind of just slow them down or just keep them in one spot. I'd be like, hey, bro, you dig what I'm saying? Then I go into my spiel, and it's like, oh man, you just overly, you know, nah man, you know, I'm overly nothing, bro. It's just that I have a whole lot of hope, and I know what it's like to be down. I know what, and no one likes to be down. No one wants to be down. No one wants to feel like they ugly. No one wants to feel like they not achieving. No one wants to feel like they ain't got enough money.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, bro, you gonna get there. You gonna do it. Everything. So I like to look at myself as someone who started from like the very bottom, and I'm climbing my way to the top. And you get to watch me climb all the way to the top by going to the industry's most wanted podcast with TampaMystic.
Man, you better believe it.
Come on, man. You got to stop here. You got to stop here. You dig what I'm saying?
You come to the A, you gotta come through here.
Yeah,
and I'm so grateful for that because there's so many artists that come from out of town and they incorporate this platform as a part of what their media run.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for being here. I appreciate that 100%.
Thank you for even opening your doors and doing this. This is a dope logo.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is dope. You've been doing this for a long, like 2020, right?
Since 20. No, I've been doing it for 14 years. 14 years.
Okay, my bad.
Like early 2011, okay. I launched Industry's Most Wanted. Just to give you a quick history for people who don't know, I launched Industry's Most Wanted in February of 2012 as a mixtape series. I put out about 35 mixtapes. That's why I was saying one of my mixtape covers got stolen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then I was doing artist showcases, and they were called the Industry's Most Wanted, artist showcase. But at the same time, I was doing radio back then, but I didn't really have an identity for my radio show.
Okay.
So I was like, so initially it was Industry's Most Wanted Radio.
Okay.
When podcasting became very popular a few years back, I transitioned the name to Industry's Most Wanted Podcast. So it was birthed in 2012.
2012.
Yeah, 2012. I've been in the industry since early 2011. 2012, Industry's Most Wanted was birthed.
I love it.
Absolutely. Let's talk about this single, man, Drive Shift. You came looking the part today. Looking the part. Absolutely. What does the title mean to you, first and foremost?
Okay, drive shift, on the gears, you got parking, you got reverse, you got neutral, you got, the drive. You know what I'm saying? If you're driving the stick, and you got first gear, second gear, all that stuff. But with sticking with manual, because I don't really know how to drive the stick. I know the gears, though. But, when you in drive shift, man, you just pretty much just going forward. You're on the highway, what's your gear on? You know what I'm saying? You going to work with it on. You in drive, and you going to wherever you need to get to. You know what I'm saying? I got something that's like you got to drive shift through the mud. Have you ever got stuck in the mud or felt like you got stuck or something like that?
I have.
Yeah. Like it's been icing outside, and then you trying to, and the wheel is just spinning.
My cars did a 360 one time on the ice here when I first moved here because I didn't know.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it easy. You dig what I'm saying? So, drive shift through the mud, it's like, you stuck, but you just keep vroom, vroom. You kind of just like pivoted a little bit, kind of jerk the car a little bit. then eventually you're gonna get out that mud. Eventually, you dig what I'm saying? But you can't get out of it without putting in a drive shift.
Man,
you dig what I'm saying? You got to get up out of there. So like I said, I recorded the song at mid-range back in 2018. Shout out to my guy Eric Surratt, love you, boy. Back in 2018. And, I was just going, again, that was just me, like, just kind of like, smoking on endo, me and my kinfolks rolling the window, feel the surreal, they put it together and break down the endo, roll it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like Tech 9. And you dig what I'm saying? I was like, I could rap fast. I could do the thing.
Little twister.
Yeah, I could do that stuff. So, that was me. So, I heard it. I haven't heard the song in such a long time. I was just going through the archives I was looking for another song.
Okay.
I was looking for another song. Like, damn, where's the song at? Then I was like, drive shift. I'm like, what does this sound like? I was like, oh,
that's it.
This song sounds dope. I'm like, baby, what you think about this? I like that. Yo, what you think about this? Oh, I like that.
If the lady loves it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it was time. It's time to drop it now. I was like, oh, you like this? Okay, cool. Yeah, so I will drive shift. So, in the song, I feel like it's really just you vibing with the homies, and you at a cookout, or you definitely driving. You're definitely driving in a car.
Yes.
That's why I'm setting it up for. If you look at the cover, it's like a first person perspective for someone behind the wheel in the galaxy and things like that. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, drive shifts. Mm-hmm.
The video is out as well, or is on the way?
Video's on the way for sure. Yeah.
Definitely. 100%, man. Before we get into giving them out your social media and your shout outs, I want to do a quick little rapid fire round. Okay. You got to answer these in one word.
Okay.
Or two at max.
Okay.
Just real quick. First track you ever recorded?
Ever. I don't remember the name. No. First track I ever recorded, it was a Wu-Tang Cream beat. You remember Cash Rules Everything?
Yeah, so it was a freestyle?
It was a freestyle. Yeah. Freestyle. Yes.
Dream collab.
Kendrick Lamar.
Most played artists in your rotation right now?
Larry June.
What's harder, writing a hit or running a business?
Writing a hit.
Better vibe, a packed out local show or a DM from a fan across the globe?
Packed out show.
Who's someone that people sleep on in Kansas City right now, beside yourself?
I thought about like 10 people. I thought about 10 people.
Give us like 5 then.
People sleep on?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to shine some light on them right now.
I won't.
It could be a producer. It could be an audio engineer. It doesn't have to be an artist.
Rob Ruckus. Ty Weed.
That's good. We'll leave it right there. Last one. Studio session must have.
Whiz Khalifa.
Okay.
Currency.
Boom.
Larry Jones.
Say no more. Thank you for firing those off for us. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Where can people follow you on your social media?
They can follow me on Instagram at TGC Stone. They can follow me on Facebook at Johnny Stone. They can follow me on TikTok at TGC Stone. I like to keep it like TGC Stone. You do what I'm saying? Because my name is TGC Johnny Stone.
Yeah.
You know, but I like to shorten it so people's not typing in the whole thing. That's a long fucking name. That's a long fucking name.
It is a long one.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is TGC Stone. People just like, okay, TGC Stone. How you spell Stone? STONE.
Boom.
That was it. Yeah, boom. There it is. Yeah. Oh, another artist in Kansas City, Fan of Pesos. Yeah. TNT LKP. Yeah, that's all I can think about. Cock Colors, Shay Lyric. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being open to answering that. Because I feel like if there's people out there that is just as dope as you, we need to shine some light on them. They're from the city that you reside in. So
yeah.
Stop sleeping on them artists, most definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Who do you want to give thanks to and give a shout out to for supporting you?
Oh man, I want to shout out. You know, there are some people I do want to shout out, man. A lot of the people I have met recently, but I want to shout out DJ Foots, man. You know, he heard my record, and he did the whole shooting it out to the DJs so the DJs can play the record. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, DJ Rocky Montana, for allowing me to get in the booth with you and things like that. It brought a lot of publicity to me. I appreciate that. Thank you, DJ Street King. I appreciate you, dog. I want to say thank you, Eric Surratt. You really taught me how to engineer and things like that. And over at Mid Range, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had the confidence to go back to recording myself. And I'm glad that you're not a hater, because there's some engineers, they don't want to teach you shit, man. They just want you to come back to them. But he was like, yeah, this is what you do, and so yeah. So I want to say thank you, bro. I want to thank my mama, man, for real. She really allowed me to, live at her house when I ain't had no money, you know what I'm saying, things like that. I want to shout out my pops, man, for, giving me the confidence to actually step in the studio, cause I was just trying to record at the house and shit was sounding like dog shit. He was like, hey man, I'm gonna give you some money so you can go to an actual studio and see what you can do. And I recorded with E. That was my very first studio experience, what I'm saying, over at Mid Range. So Mid Range wherever have my heart. Shout out to Jazz for 64111 Studios in Kansas City, man. Dude's a legend, man. He got plaques on the wall, man. He worked with Tech Nine. He worked with them legends. Celebrities would just call his phone, and he wouldn't tell nobody. You walk in the studio, he got an Emmy. Like he just got it. And he don't even talk about it.
Wow.
He let other people talk about it.
Super humble.
That's what I love about him, man. So shout out to him. Shout out to Rob Lowe, the star, man. The Welcome to the Doghouse. I'm gonna be a part of that soon. Just shout out to Kansas City, man. Y'all raised me, man. You dig what I'm saying? And everyone's not at odds. Everyone's not on the same page as sometimes, man. But I do feel like there's love there. I do feel like there's love in Kansas City. I love Kansas City. I love y'all, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Kansas City. I love Kansas
And
City.
shout out to yourself.
Oh, for sure. Shout out to TGC Johnny Stone.
You're a dope human being.
Yeah, man, motherfucking cool, man. Dude's fly, man. Dude's funny as hell, man. Dude's handsome as hell, man. Come on, Johnny Stone. Come on, man.
All right, so that's gonna lead into my last question. Where are we at?
Industry.
Big one. Industry's most wanted. What makes you the industry's most wanted?
Industry's most wanted because my energy, man. You know, I feel like, you know, the music's good, but it's that person that's always going to sell it the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, especially nowadays. It's like people, they won't listen to music, then they're like, okay, I wonder what he's like on the interview. What interview? And then that interview makes all the difference.
Yes.
Yeah. So say like Kevin Gates. I really like Kevin Gates' interview. I'm not a huge fan of all his music, but I love Kevin Gates as a person. I love what he's saying. Don't always agree with him, but I love his perspective.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? I love that he can bring something, because he'll say something like this, right? He'll talk to you, and you'll say something to him like, you know, what about people being humble and, you know, not wanting to ask for help? He was like, man, that's not being humble. That's just a motherfucker not wanting to ask for help. And then, you know what I'm saying? He'll say something like that. Then he'll say something like, you know, from a poetic perspective, he'll say something like, you know, being humble is when you're amongst the gods, but you never lose the common man's touch.
Man.
I was like, that's very poetic. And ever since he said that, stuck with me. So that's why I'll forever love Kevin Gates.
Appreciate you being here today.
I appreciate you, man.
We're about to go get this performance popping, though. You ready?
Man, for sure. Hell yeah, man. We about to do it, man.
Definitely. We out of here, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Drug gang in this bitch, drop shift through the mud. 1 for the bud, 2 for the drug. Gang in this bitch, drop shift through the mud.